So this is my brother. He works a lot on his golf swing, in his back garden. He's got a really good setup for working his technique, and he's a pretty good golfer. So he plays off four, swings it really good, strikes the ball really good. But I'm just going to show you a couple of bits in his swing which we work on, which he works on quite hard, just to get slightly more power and just get a better strike through the impact area. So we're just going to talk about his setup. So his setup's really solid, slight knee flex. Good postural tilt over the ball, a good hand position, got a nice bit of space between hands and his mid-drift, weight distribution lovely evenly across the middle of his feet, so really good to go in terms of his setup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a couple of bits on him just so we can focus on some of the positions that he creates in the backswing and some of the stuff that he does which could do with a little bit of work. So I'm just going to put a circle in his head position here, and we're just going to take the club away, and I'm just going to show you what happens with Dean's head as he takes the club away. So you're going to notice how head starts to lower a little bit, weight starts to get pushed onto the front of his feet, starts to come at that position. What happens to his hand path, his hand would just start to drift behind him a little bit here. So again, if I draw another circle just on where his hands have got here, it's just a little bit it's not deep enough, just his hands are here. So notice how they're working a little bit behind his sternum. So if we've got the middle of his chest, just pretty much where the top of that zipper is into the line of his neck, you'll notice that his hands are a little bit left of this position. So his hands have got a little bit behind him, his weight has come a little bit more forward. That's going to start to be a little bit more problematic into the downswing. So now if we take these away, we're just going to start to work into the top of the backswing. So the head position still stays a little bit forward. And now we're going to start to see everything retracting off the back of that. Whereas his weight has gone forward and his head position has gone forward. Now we're going to start to see into the downswing where his hands have got caught behind him in the backswing. They're going to start to come forward towards the ball. As we can see in this little move here, we can see in slow motion where the hands just start to come forward just a touch. Then as we start to draw the club into the impact area, start to notice how Dean's head will start to drift backwards up, and see how the posture starts to move away from the golf ball. The problem is with that movement is that obviously as your head's moving away, your downward tilt, your downward rotation, it starts moving away from the ball, so you start to lack a little bit of power through the impact area. And notice how his hips at this point are still pretty much square onto the ball, so there's not much clearance, only because most of the movement is actually, as you can see, these hips are just starting to face towards the ball a little bit here. They should start to face a little bit more towards the target, sort of that bush in the background. But see how they're a little bit front on, only because lots of Dean's energy is moving away from the golf ball as his head starts to work up, and obviously as his weight distribution starts to move into the back of his heels. So then we start to work into impact, and sometimes we get sort of a heavy strike a little bit, which you see here. That's just because there's not quite enough clearance due to that upward movement on the way through. So now we start to work into the finish. Dean has a really classical finish position. Really classic looking golf swing. So just to recap, what Dean needs to work on, and what I see quite a lot of, is in the backswing. What people tend to set up in the backswing, the opposite tends to happen on the way down. So if Dean can manage to keep his height a little bit better in the backswing, manage to sort of keep the hands a little bit more in front of him in the backswing, not so much behind him, not so much behind his sternum, his ability to lower into the downswing and rotate would be better. He'd be able to shallow the club correctly, he'd be able to rotate better, and he'd be able to produce more power. So lots of the drills that we offer Dean, and lots of the drills that are sent out to Dean, mainly focus on maintaining his posture, maintaining his head position in the backswing. So we can offer these online lessons for you. I'd love to see your swings. The first 10 swings that I get completely for free. What I'll do is I'll analyze them with this voiceover, put some cool sort of bits of sort of artwork on them, so you really understand what you're looking at, what you understand what you need to work on. And then what I'll do is I'll attach some drills to me, giving you some drills and giving you some help to be able to implement the positions that we're looking for going forward. So as I said, this is available from today. The first 10 swings will be completely for free. I analyse them for free. Just email me, luke@sunburygolfacademy.com or golfershqltd@gmail.com. Just send me over your swings, and I'm happy to analyse them and happy to give you some feedback. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.